These things, miraculously surviving fires, may have you believing in miracles. Amid the ruins of this burned-down home, something priceless was found.
Yes, a true miracle.
Paddy Shales and her daughter Blair thought they'd lost everything in a devastating fire in LA in 2019.
The flames were coming right from out there and literally ran for our lives.
This was their spectacular home before the fire. Afterward, utter destruction.
It's all rubble.
Then a firefighter approached with this jewelry box.
And he said, "Does this box look familiar to you?" And I said, "That's my mom's wedding ring box." I was just blown away.
Somehow, the small jewelry box ended up untouched by the flames.
Here it was, covered in water, soaked in water.
Paddy lost her mom, Dorothy, 1 year prior. She believes finding the ring was a sign.
She's telling me, "You will have troubles, but fear not."
This is just her spirit giving us the courage and the strength to move on from this nightmare.
A painting of Jesus in a white robe survived in perfect condition after a church was left in ruins. The inferno broke out in 2018 after lightning struck First Baptist Church in Wakefield, Massachusetts. This is all that was left.
I mean, we were in shock at the whole event, but the picture being saved was a moment of comfort and joy in the midst of all that devastation and horror.
From then on, the painting was seen as a glimmer of hope.
I've always believed in miracles. This certainly seems to be something that God is saying as a way of comforting us. So yes, I guess I do believe in miracles even more.
Call it the miracle of Notre Dame. In 2019, there was a vigil in Paris after the iconic Notre Dame Cathedral caught fire. Thousands gathered to express their grief and shock as the world got its first look inside the ruins of the church. Debris was everywhere. But look, this cross, apparently unharmed, appeared to glow on the altar afterward. For many, it was a symbol of hope. The famous stained glass windows were also intact. Sadly, many paintings, statues, and other relics were destroyed.
God giveth and God taketh.
After their church went up in flames in 2022, one congregation pressed on with its Sunday services.
When they sent me a text and I read it and it said, "Our church is on fire," I just froze.
St. John's Methodist Church in California held its weekly service in the parking lot under tents. These worshipers chose to gather outside to give thanks for what they did have.
God, we just thank you that no one was hurt.
But some items were spared from the damage, like Bibles and hymn books.
You realize it, it's like, holy cow, something good stayed.
They hadn't seen their dog Madison for nearly a month. But there he was, guarding the family home, even if all that was left was burnt out wreckage. Andrea and her husband Bill had fled for their lives in November of 2018. Madison and his brother Miguel were left behind because they refused to get in the car.
They're not domesticated very much. They're guard dogs. They've never been in a vehicle except once in their life, and they were about 6 weeks old.
Bill says he was confident his dogs would survive even in all of the devastation.
It's a very tough breed of dogs. We have tough people and tough dogs here on this mountain.
After the fire was extinguished, Shayla Sullivan, an animal rescue expert, left food and water for the dogs just in case they survived.
I actually called Andrea just to let her know we'd been here looking for the dogs, and we left food and water.
This is the moment when Madison was reunited with his owners.
Immediately when she pulled in and Madison greeted her at the car, it was emotional for us.
So what happened to Madison's brother Miguel? He ended up in an animal shelter 70 miles away. In the end, the whole family was reunited.
I guess we were missing and he was home.
For Inside Edition Digital, I'm Andrea Swindall.